Memory came back of these grain bags and how much comfort they brought me. Hey there, Nandi here. I'm the owner of Bliss Joy Bowl, and I thought I'd just pop in for a little bit and talk to you about my new cherry pit warmers. And quite a few people have asked me, why did I pick cherry pits to fill these? And the reason is, well, I have to go back a little bit. When I was younger and I would have sleepovers at friends' houses, I had this one friend who had grain bags, and they gave them to us at night before bedtime, and we'd pop them in the microwave for a couple minutes, and they were like really soothing to put on your shoulders or neck. Or we also like to put them in the bottom of the bed to warm up the bed before we got in the bed. And I think they were definitely filled with flaxseed and maybe rice. I'm not sure exactly, but I distinctly remember the flaxseed smell. And so definitely this past year, I was sewing a lot more. I was sewing a lot of face masks and sewing a lot more than I usually do. And this memory came back of these grain bags and how much comfort they brought me. And so I did some research about making some grain bags and what the best thing would be to fill them with. And one thing I found in my research is that if you fill these fabric bags with rice or corn or flax, which are the typical items that people use to make these grain bags with, they don't last as long because they can get wet and go rancid. And cherry pits was one of the things that also was a filler, and walnut shells. And cherry pits seem to be the best route because they're very durable. They last a long time. You can actually wash them. You can put them in the washer and dryer. And so I figured, why not? And so I ordered some. I sewed up some samples, and both my husband and I have been using them very frequently. They're very nice to use, after a long day of work, if you're on the computer all the time. And it just brings a lot of comfort and stress reducing. It really helps to reduce stress and ease the tension in your shoulders. And so we have a few different sizes. This is the short size, and I've added ties to this one. You can add ties to any of the warmers. So this is how I like to use them. I usually do about 2 minutes in the microwave, and it definitely depends on the settings on your microwave. So you'll have to play around with that a bit. Maybe 2.5 minutes, depending on the size. This is a kind of medium small size. So the larger ones, I usually do a little bit longer for 2.5 minutes. And they usually, for me, I like to kind of shake them around a little bit and hear that nice cherry pit sound. Hopefully that doesn't drown out my voice. Because for me, they're definitely a little too hot to put directly on the skin. My husband is not as sensitive as I am, so he doesn't mind just going directly on the neck. So sometimes I like to put a dish towel in between the cherry pit warmer and my skin until it cools down a little bit, becomes more comfortable. All the sizes last for warmth around 45 minutes, a little bit longer for the bigger ones and a little bit less for the smaller ones. I also thought it'd be fun to kind of show what the cherry pits look like. So they're dried cherry pits. And the nice thing about cherry pits is that they produce a moist heat when they get warm. So you like feel that against your skin. It's really, really nice. And some other great things that I really loved about these cherry pits is that they come straight from Michigan, which is the #1 tart cherry producer in the US. So cherry pits are a natural byproduct of that industry. Otherwise, they usually get tossed out. I think there's like a couple other uses for them, but generally, like the industry is trying to find uses for them. And so a lot of crafters use them. You can use them for like bean bags or things like that. But I really like the warming aspect of them. Another nice thing is that you can actually cool them. You can put them in the freezer and then use them as an ice pack. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for watching, and definitely reply if you have any questions. I'd love to answer them. Thank you.